Can I show you a magic trick? No. Ew. Can you not show me a magic trick? Is that an option? Sir! That's very triggering. I cannot trust anyone. Chang!
With a fake scramble which Steven had pre-memorized.
Chang! Called it. Should we have a look at Jack Kai's video? I'm kind of excited to see this one. I've not watched it yet. A blind react.
Hey,
Whoa.
I'm Jack.
Hey, Jack.
Owner of this random piece of paper.
Alright,
and
Flex.
Today, I'm going to expose the secrets behind the most famous Rubik's Cube magic tricks. Starting...
I think Jack Kai might have the most Australian accent I've ever heard. It's very Australian.
With the first trick, where Steven scrambles the Rubik's Cube, puts it into a bag, clicks his fingers, and pulls out a solved Rubik's Cube.
I'm going to go ahead as well and make a little, just sort of... just my position on magic. I find magic inherently creepy. I find it so creepy. Can I show you a magic trick? No. Ew. Can you not show me a magic trick? Is that an option? I think it's because it's like... It's just the purest form of deception. But also, I have a very tiny brain, and I don't like it when I'm confused. My mate, Evan, who runs a shop in Littleton called Dead Video, he used to do magic all the time. He's really good at card tricks, and he used to take great pleasure in like fully just freaking me out because he would just do card tricks that I just couldn't get my mind around. I was just like, the only explanation I can come up with is that you are a witch. But I know it's all logical. It's sleight of hand, and it's trickery, and it's deception.
So,
and there's a logical explanation.
Well, if we go back to the beginning...
So Jack, I need you here.
Cube, notice how after just 4 moves, all 6 sides look messed up.
Sir.
This looks suspicious, but to non-cubers, it's not that different to a cube that's been scrambled for 20 moves. But now there's a jump cut, but my guess is that he did these 2 moves in between the shots, and here's why. Because if we assume it's those 2 moves, at the end of the scramble sequence, you'll notice the pattern on the cube looks familiar, because it's the exact same one he had after the first 4 moves. Because the last, presumably 6 moves he did, returned the cube back to the same state as it was before.
That's
this means
very
that he
sneaky.
just had to undo the moves he did at the start to solve the cube while his hand was in the bag. And if you hold the cube like this instead, you can solve the cube just by using the upper and right sides. And using the index and pinky fingers respectively, you can easily turn them with some practice. Also,
so that's just the that's just the Timmy 2 move scramble that any 8-year-old will take great delight in showing you. Look, I can solve this in 1 second. Doosh doosh. And they reckon they're genius. It's just an extended version of that.
Cube magic kit is
I see
using
you.
a Shengshou Aurora, which is a really quiet speed cube. And of course, combined with the rustling of the paper bag, that's more than enough to cover the sound. But what about this behind the back throw trick? Well, notice how the last few moves he does to scramble the cube are the exact same as from the last trick. And not only that, but the
I need to learn this scramble.
is the exact same, albeit with different colors. And he solves it with the same 4 moves as before, except that he hides the moves behind his back and with some motion blur to cover it up. So with that knowledge in mind, you can probably figure out how I'm doing these ones as well. But how about this trick where he scrambles
that behind the back one's kind of slick. I'll give him that.
Instantly solves it without a single turn. Well, if you
this
look
one's
closely, just before he flips the cube, note how you can only see 3 colors of the Rubik's Cube.
How suspicious.
Because he isn't actually solving the cube. He's just showing the other 3 colors and sides which are completely solved.
That's a cool pattern.
And much like the first trick, he did another fake scramble to get to this state. Except that...
Oh, dang. See, I'm already just like... I'm already I'm already going, ew, magic. Ew, it's creepy. But I also really want to learn these scrambles. So I can blow some non-cuber minds. You know? Good stuff. Good stuff.
So no extra moves are needed.
Boop.
Of course, after doing the trick, he
needs
makes
a
sure
little-
the other sides are covered before quickly reshuffling the cube for real this time. But in another appearance, when he does this flipping trick, you'll see the cube actually looks a lot more scrambled on the front, and even shows all 6 colors. So how does it work here?
Huh?
Well, if you go even further back in the clip, this corner on the cube has 2 blue stickers.
Oh,
But if you take apart a
sir.
Rubik's Cube and look at the corners,
That's very triggering.
you'll see there's never a repeating color, which means that this Rubik's Cube is impossible to solve. And with a bit more covering with the hands, is just there to show a different variation of the same trick again. But even knowing
cool
how
sleight
to
of hand,
solve
though.
the Rubik's Cube, this last one took some time to figure out. Here, Steven gets Simon to scramble a cube, then puts it in a bag before revealing a solved Rubik's
I know this. Oh, already,
To get the
already, I know this one. This is 2 cubes. All right, there's no doubt in my mind. Just from the way he was holding the bag when that thing came out, this is 2 cubes.
It's another bag trick like the first
Look, he's
one
holding a
showed.
cube in that bag.
But
Wait,
then he shows he just had a solved Rubik's Cube
okay.
there all along.
wait, okay, I didn't wait for the whole trick. I cannot trust anyone. I cannot trust anyone. And I will not trust anyone.
That it wasn't a real trick.
Okay.
But
All right.
after
Okay.
giving back Simon's cube
I can't believe I. All right. I literally fell for the preamble.
to cover, Steven then
disappointing.
does some moves on the solved cube, which seem random at first, but are shown to perfectly match Simon's cube, not just on one, but all 6
Oh, that's
sides.
cute.
But
He's done
how?
re-scramble.
Well, like the other tricks, I had a feeling that Steven already knew the scramble in advance. And so, we rewind the video once again, because if you look at this cube at the start after Simon scrambles it, you can see this side has a yellow block. But when Steven shows all 6 sides of Simon's cube at the end, the yellow
Who said
block
3
is
cubes?
nowhere to be seen.
Chang.
Which means that Simon's scrambled cube was swapped out for another one during, you guessed it, the fake bag trick. Which means that inside the bag, there isn't just one solved cube, but
Chang.
a second one with a fake scramble which Steven had pre-memorized.
Chang. Called
So the
it.
first part goes as you'd expect. Simon's scrambled cube goes into the bag. Fingers click, which I can't do. Then he reveals the solved cube while holding onto the cube Simon scrambled before. But that's when he releases the fake scrambled cube while still holding onto the cube that Simon actually scrambled. And while everyone is focused on the fake magic trick, he quietly scrunches away this paper bag with Simon's actual cube in it. And because he made such a big deal about the bag being empty in 3 different ways at the beginning, no one questions it, and unlike the other tricks, places the bag away from the judges.
That's so crafty.
Then, much like the last trick, he just has to do
And
a
creepy.
bunch of pre-memorized moves, which will in this case match the fake scramble. So while this video may seem
I thought, like,
oh my god,
I thought it was
Rubik's
just
Cube magic tricks exposed.
Straight Chris Mills
This
re-scramble.
isn't a negative video about Steven Brundage, the guy who did all these tricks. If anything, he's easily the best Rubik's Cube magician I've seen so far.
Well, that was abrupt. That was abrupt. On you, Jack Kai. That was pretty cool. I feel like Steven's gonna have to up his game now. Jack's exposed those first round of tricks, and now he's gonna have to up his game. That was cool, actually. I appreciate that video. Jack makes good video, I reckon.